Hi, it's Deck and Sam from Fanatical here, and today we've been given the special edition of Resident Evil Village, so a big thanks to Capcom for providing us with this. And don't worry, if you're looking forward to playing the game for yourself, then there's only mild spoilers, as we're going through the highlights from the first hour of the game only, and we'll be giving a brief overview of the plot, the combat and the enemies. And as we go through the darkness, we get our first jump scare.
Yep, this one certainly caught me off guard. Although it's not big and scary, it still caught me off guard, and I was happy to get away from it. But as you can see, it's pretty dark. This is the similar theme throughout the game. They love to keep you in the darkness and keep you alert and waiting for the jump scares and all the noises that are creeping around.
And even from this, you can tell it's a darker, more rustic game than 7. I suppose what we've seen so far from the trailers as well, it's really claustrophobic. Yeah, for definite. There's similar vibes obviously from Resident Evil 7 with the first person perspective, and there was some creepy locations in 7, but certainly with this one I'm getting more of a vibe of Resident Evil 4 due to the village and the environment that you'll be approaching. Another jump scare there, that mouse kept me on my toes, and as I wandered away, they're really
thinking,
not holding back.
No, they're not. As I wandered away thinking I was okay. Oh, there's another one. So everywhere you turn, you're always kind of cautious of what's going on, especially in these scenarios where a torchlight is basically your best friend.
So speaking of Resident Evil 7 and how it differs, what's the plot of this that you need to know from 7 if they've never played it before?
Okay, so with Resident Evil 7, it's the same protagonist, which is Ethan Winters. In 7, he had to go in search of his missing wife, who he tracked in Louisiana, in the USA, and she was on an estate owned by the Baker family. Now, due to a supernatural mutated bioweapon known as the mold, Mia and the Baker family got infected by it. So basically, Ethan had to find a cure, which successfully cured Mia of all her symptoms, so far as we are aware. And they both settled in this sleepy village away from all the action, or so they thought. So Chris Redfield has turned up out of the blue. As we've seen from the videos, he's shot Mia for some reason, we don't know why. And he's also stolen, as far as we're aware, baby Rosemary. And this is Ethan's new mission, to try and find his baby daughter and track down whoever's behind it and who's responsible, and just find out what the hell's going on, really.
And that's where we get introduced to this character, who is very much the first character you really find, isn't he? And he introduces you to, well, the events that's about to unfold. But as you can see, he doesn't really last long. Immediately gets killed.
Yeah.
So he had a good run, didn't he?
Yeah, poor bloke. At least he got a few shots off. But yeah, as you start to see here, you find one of the main enemies of the game. Obviously, Resident Evil 8, Resident Evil Village, as is formerly known, will not have zombies as far as we've seen. Instead, it's the Lycans, which are werewolves. So quite a new and interesting concept from Capcom this time around.
And it's almost like it heard you, because right on cue, I think we're going to see them now, aren't we? So
yeah,
we'll get an introduction into the werewolves, and we'll see exactly what they're about and how they differ from zombies. As there you go, he pops up.
Yeah, they're a lot more agile. Similar to how they were in the Resident Evil 2 and 3 remakes, they have a bit of a wave about them where they bob from side to side. So if you're like me, where you've not played a first-person shooter for a couple of months, your aim might be slightly off. We did report on some rumours that the game would have mini Horde battles, similar to Resident Evil 4, where you could block windows and doors to try and keep enemies out. And obviously in this mode here, this particular part of the game, you can see that that's actually correct, and that you can keep them at bay, but they will find a way in. So at some point you will have to try and take them out.
The shooting seems a lot more dynamic than the previous games. It seems a bit more like a first-person shooter than perhaps 7 or the 2 and 3 remake.
Yeah, I think with the others they've kind of been more just a bit of an action with shooting elements, but this one is very much FPS style. 7 was kind of like that, but what I tend to find with that one, I wouldn't be as prone to shoot until it was like absolutely necessary. But with this one, you know, even from the get-go, I'm getting ready to kill as many things as I can in front of me. But yeah, the gameplay is very similar to 7, but there are some nice quirks in there from the 2 and 3 remakes and Resi 4.
As you can tell from the environment here, it is a darker setting than perhaps we're used to as well. Even with the snow, it's a lot more tighter and it's very much run down, whereas we've seen before in the series it is obviously dark, but not this dark.
Yeah, I get where you're coming from. Is I suppose with Resident Evil 2 and the 3 remakes, it's been in a bit more of a kind of metropolis city sort of setting, a bit more modern. Quite similar to 4, this kind of village setting everyone seems a bit ye olde, and obviously the kind of weapons and stuff that they're using is a bit more old school. But yeah, it's kind of weird just being in what's supposed to be a sleepy village and there's some werewolves riding on horseback.
They look very zombie-like, just their mouths and the way they act. You can tell there as he pops up. It's more like a zombie werewolf than just perhaps a werewolf we've seen in other media before.
Yeah, for definite. And here's hammer time.
He's a big fella.
Yep. I think what a lot of people have said about this game when they first saw it is like, oh my god, they've gone with werewolves. Like, why have they gone down that route? Obviously, they're all about zombies, but I think what people have to remember is the whole point of Resident Evil is the fact it's called biohazard in other parts of the world, and the fact that they are a biohazard. We've seen in the past games, it's not all about zombies. It's about mutations and these supernatural beings. So I think this is quite a bold and pretty much a refreshing step for the Resident Evil franchise to go in, and yeah, you've only seen a glimpse of what's coming up, so there's some more interesting enemies ahead.
I think we've already heard of Lady Dimitrescu as well. She's been very widely documented, hasn't she? But
oh, absolutely.
We're not going to show her in this, but the social media have gone absolutely mad for her.
Yeah, I think it's probably a refreshing video not to see her in it, because she's been everywhere. But yeah, she's one of the 4 main family heads that you'll be visiting in the game. Obviously, as you go into the game, you'll find out more about the others. But you'll see in the distance there the castle where you'll inevitably come to meet her. All 9'6" of her, including the heels, apparently. So yeah, there's
and a hat.
Yeah, and a hat. So you've seen just a glimpse of the terrors that await, but yeah, there's a hell of a lot more to come.
Yeah, and we can't wait to play it. It's out tomorrow, the 7th of May, and we're looking forward to playing it and hearing all your feedback in the community as well. But absolutely. That's it for now. I think we're going to leave it there. That is a quick roundup of the first hour of the game, taking out the best bits, the most exciting bits, and Sam's kind of scary moments. So let us know in the comments if you're excited to get the game, and don't forget to pick up the game on fanatical.com to save. Bye for now.
Oh.